Hey guys, Kieran from Totally Fit Gym here. Okay, so let's talk about ketosis. What is it and how it can help your training? Now, I'm not going to talk about the ketogenic diet and all the health benefits in relation to that, such as benefits for diabetes, epilepsy, migraine sufferers, cancer reduction and autism. I just want to speak about ketosis in a training environment. Okay, so we all know about our three macronutrients, okay? We've got carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. They're what we eat, okay? Did you know that the body's only got three energy sources in relation to those macronutrients as well? Proteins, glucose, and ketones, all right? We never want to break down proteins when we're training. We never want to use them for energy. This is where the body starts to basically attack itself when it's depleted of all other energy sources. It'll use proteins basically as a last resort, and you start breaking down your own muscle fibers for energy. So we want to avoid that. And to be honest, that only happens in extreme cases like ultra marathons, or basically when the body is in starvation mode. So for most of us, we don't have to worry about that. The energy derived from glucose comes directly from our carbohydrate intake. And it's like setting fire to kindling. It's a hard burn, but it's a fast burn. It gives short bursts of energy until the blood glucose levels are depleted and we begin to fatigue and feel hungry again. So we can just eat more carbs, right? That's wrong, unfortunately. The body can only tolerate a certain level of glucose in the blood, and that's where the hormone insulin kicks in. What it does with all that excess glucose is it breaks it down or converts it into what's called glycogen, and then stores it as body fat, stores it as extra energy in the body. So if we just keep eating carbs, we're just going to get fatter. We're not actually going to burn that off. We're going to use our kindling, which is obviously a really uneconomical way of burning fuel sources, and we're just going to put that excess carbs away. So even if we could keep our blood glucose levels to that perfect amount for consistent performance and energy, we aren't going to drop our body fat percentage because we're going to be forever burning glucose and not chipping away at our fat stores. So let's tap into that body fat, right? That's the goal for our training for most of us, is to lose body fat. We all want to slim down without feeling tired and lousy. So that's where we need to get into this state of ketosis, which is a natural state in our body where we're burning our fat stores for energy. And it's like setting fire to coal. Remember I mentioned kindling with glucose? It's like ketosis is like the coal. It's a much longer burn, much more sustained energy, a lot easier to maintain our energy levels, and it's just a great release of energy and power. So how do we get into ketosis? Probably the most important question. This has been the hard part in the past because it can take your body weeks of adjusting to go from a glucose and carbohydrate-based diet to a fatty and ketone energy supply. And we feel tired, we feel miserable, we feel lousy because we've trained our bodies to expect regular sources of food, regular sources of carbohydrates. Okay, so with our modern diets, they're full of carbohydrates, lots of breads, lots of pasta, lots of starchy foods. So when we cut that out, naturally our energy levels start to drop. That's the beauty of our therapeutic ketones that we sell here, the Ketone OS. It's a once-a-day drink that'll put you into ketosis within 60 minutes of consuming, and it lasts up to 8 hours. So that's 8 hours of burning body fat just from this one drink. Within 60 minutes, you'll feel the energy release, which will have you working harder, it'll have you more focused at work, it'll give you more energy in the gym. It's where it'll give you more strength, more power, more effort, more repeat efforts, and obviously from there, your results are going to fast track. But ketosis isn't just for those looking to lose the body fat either. It's also for anyone looking to put on muscle size and bulk up. Most reduced calorie diets are catabolic, meaning that the diet can cause you to lose muscle. This is largely due to the fact that you're consuming less energy, so your body relies on other tissues such as your proteins, as we were mentioning before, and we don't want to break those down. Added to that, some dieters can do copious amounts of aerobic work, jumping on the treadmill or the bikes for a long period of time, which can cause further breakdown of the muscles. The brain can also call on proteins to create glucose for energy. It's a process called gluconeogenesis. All right, and again, we're talking about breaking down proteins for muscles for energy here. Ketosis, though, is different because in the state of ketosis, the brain will prefer to use ketones over glucose. For the dieter, this is good, obviously. The body will not have to break down proteins for energy. In turn, the body is forced to use your fat reserves. Your love handles, etc., get used for energy. This means less muscle breakdown during periods of extreme exertion, such as your weight training, greater muscle preservation, and obviously then greater muscle size. Now, we all trust our personal trainers out there and our fitness professionals. They'll tell us what to do, and we trust them and we do it. But if your trainer isn't telling you about ketosis and ketones, then you're getting ripped off. It's as simple as that. Because we want to lose body fat, don't we? We want to either lose body fat, tone up, or put on muscle. It happens in ketosis. If they're not telling you to get into ketosis and use ketones, then they're essentially telling you to eat sugars and carbohydrates as a source of fuel. They may not even realise that they're putting you into a state of ketosis because they haven't done the research and they're just not aware of what's actually happening in the body. But unless you're speaking to your trainer about ketones and ketosis, then you're going to get left behind. So come and see us at Totally Fit Gym. Get your hands on a five-day trial program, ketones for only $50, and we can also show you how to order direct from our online store to get longer supplies. But just remember, our macronutrients, we've got 3: carbs, fats and proteins, and they're all sources of energy. Energy supply, we get glucose from our carbohydrates, we get muscle from our proteins, which you want to avoid. We don't want to break down our muscles for that energy supply. And we get ketones from our fats, okay? That's the one we want to tap into. We want to use the ketone and ketosis for our energy, and we want to drop our body fat stores without compromising our muscle composition. For any more questions, just send me a message on Facebook. I'll reply to you as soon as I can. There's a lot of science that goes into this sort of stuff. It's not something that we just throw out willy-nilly. We honestly believe in it. We use it every day ourselves. We're getting amazing results, and we feel fantastic. And we want you guys to feel the way that we do. All right, so I'll talk to you soon. Please do your own research. If you've got any questions or any doubts about anything that we're saying, go and see your GP. Have a speak to your nutritional advisor. Talk to them about ketones and ketosis and how it can help you. That's how much we trust it. We want you to speak to your trusted professionals about it.